behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello everybody. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got another great interview coming up in just a moment. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell if you haven't already. And anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. And feel free to leave a comment on the comments section. We'd love to hear from you there. And go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Paul Mash TV. Feel free to follow us there, send us an inbox, and comment on the things you see there. And we love email as well, so email us at paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're simply a fan, we'll answer your fan letters, and we appreciate all the mail that we've been getting. And we're also available on that email to take requests if you want to be on the show, like if you're a band or solo artist. So we'll be looking forward to your email there, and all this will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. In just a second, we're going to have from Seattle, Washington, KP the One, another awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree with me on that. And we're going to start that right now. Okay, here we are with the interview as promised, and with us from Seattle, Washington, we have KP the One. Thanks for joining us, KP.
Yo, what up? What up?
Yeah, doing pretty good. I'm glad that you can make it on the show today. So tell everybody your story about how you got started in the music business, because everyone has their own story. Let's hear your story.
Well, I would have to say the way I got started was I was actually in high school, at the time, and I was trying to figure out like exactly what I want to do, because you go through that little transitional period. You know what I'm saying? When you're like trying to figure out exactly what you want to do, after graduation, and I was like in 10th grade or so. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And around that time, I always liked music and I love music. That's basically what I would go to. I would say, if you have an issue or a problem or anything, some people, turn to music for just about, anything, therapy, remedies, whatever. So, I'll just try to figure out things. And I told myself, why not be a DJ? I thought that would work. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, no, that wasn't it either. And then I started thinking about music because I was like listening to a classic album. It was called Too Gangster for Radio by Death Row Records, like late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? And I heard that, and then just gave me the idea, to start, making music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it was even more so because I started to realize, well, I want to make music, but I don't know anybody who makes beats. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I was like, well, I don't know nobody who records, so I just started doing that also. You know what I'm saying? Like I just said, just do as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, so that way, I bring a lot more than just one thing to the table.
Mm.
So yeah, and it just.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh well, yeah, and that right there, yeah, I was about 10th or 11th grade. I would say 11th actually. And yeah, it was junior in high school. You know what I'm saying? It was like 99, 2000. You know what I'm saying? Around there. And yeah, from there it was, history. But like for the first time, I would say, like when I wrote my first rap, I actually remember it. I like sat there for like 3 or 4 hours, like with just looking at the paper. I didn't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I ended up getting it started, and it was cool. And then from there it just flourished, and I just like kind of never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like ever. Like people say, put 10,000 hours into something. The same way I did it then, like where I would go and like if I wanted to write all night, you know what I'm saying, or just or hear the same beat for hours. You know how it goes. I still do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
When I write something, no matter what it is, I put the time and effort, just like I did when I was younger.
Okay, well that's quite a story there. I hope you'll keep doing what you're doing, man. What were some of the artists that you liked growing up that helped influence you to be the artist you are today?
Well, I would say, being from California, I was influenced by a lot of West Coast rap, G-Funk, and things of the '90s like that. But I always like, a diverse crowd. You know what I'm saying? Because where I'm from, we had like the radio, but it played everybody. They played people from the East Coast, played people from the South, you know. So I got to still hear, you know, everybody. But I would say for me, it would be Busta Rhymes is one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Busta Rhymes, Ice Cube, basically Ice Cube and the whole West Side Connection. I would say, even though they had only a couple albums, I would say Snoop Dogg for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? And his whole camp, you know, everybody like Badass, R.I.P., Corrupt, you know, Mac Lucci, you know, like quite a few people from there. Daz, like Superfly, yeah, him too. You know, like just some amazing people. You know what I'm saying? And I really mostly went towards like Snoop Dogg a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, you know, I'm like right in that same area. So it was that and like DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying? Warren G, like, you know, things like that too. But I still got to hear everybody that was like on the outside and, you know, in different states like that. I would say like Ludacris and, you know, people like, oh yeah, Twista. You know what I'm saying? I really like people who chop, like rap fast and stuff. Yeah, that's like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, I got into Twista a lot, like a whole lot. Like at one point, that's all I listened to, like in high school. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned Busta Rhymes. I hadn't thought about him in a long time, but yeah, he was definitely a legend. Even Snoop Dogg, like you said, is a legend, and you know, so I can see where you get your style from there.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sure a lot of people watching this right now are saying to themselves, "I want to download your music or follow you on social media." Tell us how we can do that.
Well, okay. If it was, hmm, it's always a hard one. It's so different now. Um, yeah, basically for just about anything, whether it's YouTube, you just do KP the one, KP, you know, space THAONE, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically like for everything, no matter what it is. Even if it's like Linktree, you just put the little, you know, under whatever that thing is called, a little slash thing, and then, you know, just KP the one. I try to keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? So that way everybody can find me, you know, even if you Google it, everything's gonna pop up with just my name.
And that will definitely show up on all the streaming sites as well.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
If,
Well, I
if
don't
it's Instagram, it's KP the one 1100. You know what I'm saying? 1100. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's basically it. That's the only one that's different.
Okay. Well, go to your favorite streaming site, download his music. I know he would fall in love with you for that.
Yeah,
And
same with Spotify too. So it's just KP the one.
yeah, and we're getting ready to watch this video. Never Change, I think, is the title of it. Tell us the story about that because it sounds like a great story behind that song.
Oh well, yeah. Never Change is from my second album, and when it comes to that album, it's called The Manipulation, and it's a very interesting album because of, you know, the things that I was going through at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when it comes to making music, you know, show exactly what you're going through at the time. I feel, you know, or at least at the time that you know you were making the music. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it should always reflect what you're going through more than it just being an album that you can create. Because it's you know, for me it's easy to just create an album and give it a title and like a theme. But for me, anything that I make, every album, it's whatever I'm going through at the time like that. You know what I'm saying? So they can see the good and the bad and how I evolved from it and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And what I was on and why it got the name it did. So would Never Change, that's more of a, you know, me being who I am and never forgetting where I come from. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to always be original to who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was something that I, you know, ended up forgetting, and I had to remind myself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I was like basically going down, you know, a path of somebody that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, sometimes you just got to have something to remind yourself, even if it's music. It's music. Sometimes, you know, you can hear a song that you made years ago, and it can reflect now. You know what I'm saying? You know how it's just like that. So it's like for that one right there, it keeps me grounded. You know, it's very different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot into it. You know what I'm saying? And it lets me know, you know, things that I went through. You know what I'm saying? The things I've overcome, all those things. And it's it's one of those ones. If I'm feeling whether I'm feeling up, down, I can any way I can put that on, and it'll always just bang out for me.
Yeah, and it is a great song, and it's all self-explanatory anyway. The whole sound anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the whole point of it.
so we're going to be watching that in just a minute. But KP, the one, thank you so much for being on the show today. One day, if you ever have anything new to plug for us, maybe you can come back on the show and you can plug that for us.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's for sure. I got something coming out in December, and then my new album that's gonna drop is called "Failure Is Not an Option," and that'll drop in next spring.
Okay.
So we'll have to talk in.
All right. Well, let's go watch that Never Change video by KP the One, and it starts right now.
Mouthpiece on that Super Saiyan God mode. I'm higher than the stratosphere. I'm blowing on cilantro. Alumni representing, bro, how could you not know? We do it big like we coming out of Costco. California nomad, they calling me a lasso. But it gets quiet when I roll up through the spot though. Crit in my own lane, but it's got a couple of potholes flex and get ate like Rocco chicken and waffles. Got a few dollars, so I gotta get more. Money, power, respect, then you gotta get host. Whole squad beast and face, and I watch us rise up from Killer, California to the coast of the Carolinas. Highly united, never subsiding, constantly striving. Oh yes, we ride for the feeling to feel alive again. Old school flow, call that Flintstone vitamins. And if you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. I'm on an elevator of life, now watch it go up. They loving me in a couple of states, I got it sewn up. Bow down and kiss my Converse like show enough. I'm harder than the desolate deserts of Arizona. Gotta get a little more of everything. I stay on my expansion cause I listen to the serenades. You gotta make it happen instead of wishing for them better days. Learn to get it cracking, hustle to find yourself a better way.
I'ma put work in, and I ain't gon' never change. When niggas keep skirting, and I'ma still be the same. And I ain't gon' never change, and I ain't gon' never change. And I'ma keep working.
I'm straight up out the ghetto. Yeah, I know the struggle, where the only means of survival is if you had a hustle. Where knuckling up is a part of life on sight, you better tussle. You better pray before you walk outside, you don't want them slugs to touch you. Yeah, I done been through it all. I've seen friends turn to foes. I've seen niggas switch up over a bitch so they can fuck a hoe. That's why I take blunts to the dome and sit back all alone and stay focused up on this music and get up in my zone. I created my own lane, but the path behind me, it won't change. And it always reminds me that I'm going insane, but I'ma use that to my advantage and change the game. Cause if there's no pain, then there's no gain. So I'ma stay riding, stay grinding. That Akon and Jeezy, that soul surviving. I elevate, so I stay flying. And there's no residing, just put in time in.
I'ma put work in, and I ain't gon' never change. When niggas keep skirting, and I'ma still be the same. And I ain't gon' never change, and I ain't gon' never change. And I'ma keep working, be here forever, man.
I'm the best kept secret, I should work for the Pentagon. The Sasuke Uchiha of rap, hit him with the Renegon. It's guaranteed you mess with this ego, you getting shitted on. And if you think of me as a threat, then we won't get along. Cause slow progress is better than no progress. And if you ain't progressing, then nigga, you need to get along. Introverted lifestyle, my ears to the street. I be hearing everything y'all be saying about me. So keep my name about your mouth unless you wanna catch the phantom from the streets of California, the place that shot me in my leg. The same place my friend got killed up in my hallway. And ever since then, I've been with it, nigga, all day. A real G moves in silence with the shadows revealing their real self when it's a war or a battle. Calling me a hazard, nigga, I'm the snake with the rattle. You can step if you want and you'll get slaughtered like cattle. Nigga.
I'ma put work in, and I ain't gon' never change. So niggas keep skirting, and I'ma still be the same. And I ain't gon' never change, and I ain't gon' never change. And I'ma keep working, be here forever, man.